So you mean to tell me that all you needed to bag a millionaire was a bad wig? Really? Hey guys, welcome to my video. It's CammyJOfficial, so let's start the show. My name is Cammy. Welcome back to my channel. Let's go ahead and get right to the video. All right, y'all. So these videos have been tearing up and trending on TikTok lately.
One can pull a white millionaire like a slim black woman with a bad wig.
Welcome to today's episode of Hard Wig, Soft Life, where I, your host Ruthie, teach you the ways of attracting a billionaire.
A few minutes later.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So this trend basically states that no one can pull a white millionaire like a slim black woman in a bad wig. So is there any credence to this? Like, is this actually founded in anything? And why does it appear that black women with bad wigs tend to attract white millionaires or millionaires of other races in general? I'm gonna break that down for you, and I'm also gonna give the reasons why it's more than just the wig that is attracting the millionaires to these black women with bad wigs. So I had a coworker that I worked with years ago, right? And she is a slim black woman with a bad wig. And before y'all say anything, I'm gonna let you know, she would be the first person, y'all, to tell you that she has on a bad wig. Matter of fact, she came to work a couple of times laughing at how bad her wig looked, because she would just grab a wig, slap it on her head and go. Like, she wouldn't even look in the mirror until she got to work and realized, like, whoa, how bad her wig looked. But she clearly, she just didn't care. She would admit to you, she's like, yes, she wears bad wigs and she doesn't have a problem with that. But this slim black woman in very questionably bad wigs went on, and yes, she did marry a very wealthy white man. So throughout the years of working with her, she has said some very interesting things that honestly lead me to believe the reason why the bad wigs are actually working for people bagging these white millionaires or millionaires of other races, right? Here are some of the things that she told me. One, when she was growing up, she grew up in a very small town out somewhere in the Midwest, right? So I think she said she grew up in like a small town somewhere in Oklahoma. And she was like one of 8 black people in her entire high school. So she did not have a lot of exposure to anything that related to black culture. So while other people were watching reruns of Martin, they were watching shows like The Game, shows like Girlfriends, she wasn't exposed to anything that dealt with black culture, really. And because of that lack of exposure to black culture, she never grew up having that really distinct focus on her hair. Now, y'all, let's all be honest with ourselves, right? In the black community, there is a lot of focus. I would even dare say there is a hyper focus on your hair, what your hair looks like, what your hair texture is. It's just very much a facet in the black community and in popular black culture. So much so that sometimes it can feel that people see your hair even before they see you as a person. Like, people will legit acknowledge your hair before they even acknowledge you. I've seen it time and time again that somebody walks up to their friend group, and if your hair is not on par, before you can even say hi to them, they are already asking you what is wrong with your hair, what is going on, and when you are going to fix it. So to her, hair was never a big deal growing up in this small Midwestern town where she was one of 8 black people at high school. It was just never a focus. Now let's fast forward. She said that when she went to college and she was exposed to a more diverse group of people, that is when she realized that something was wrong with her wigs. So she said that when she was going to college, that she would in fact have, a lot of female black students kind of pull her to the side after they got to know her, and they would talk to her about her wig. And one thing I want y'all to know is that she said it was never done with malicious intent. She always felt like, you know, these women would come to her in love to kind of say, you know, baby, your wig looks bad. Your wig does not look good. Like, they would tell her, like, your wig is way too high, lift it up. They would say, like, hey, you need to pull your wig down, you know, giving her what they believed at that time was constructive criticism. But it confused her at first because she never grew up in a culture where anyone pulled her to the side and was telling her that her hair looked bad. I mean, all these years, she just thought throw on her wig and go, and she was fine. And it was at that time she realized that her hair and the hair that she saw on other black women at the time when she was going to college was distinctly very different. She said that in her black friend groups, her hair was always an issue, but in her other racial friend groups, like her white friend groups, it was never a point of conversation. So you guys can see how much of her growing up outside of the black community and popular black culture had an effect on her perception of her hair. Now, she did try to take, the advice of the black women who, you know, were taking the time to pull her to the side and said, hey, you know, your wigs can look better. So she did at that time when she was in college, she did try to visit a couple of black beauty salons, you know, to upgrade her wig. And she said that it was not worth it to her to spend the money to wear the better wigs. Now, one thing she did say that she noticed when she was in college and even entering like the workforce was that there was a certain type of man that would approach her and ask her on dates. A lot of white men and a lot of non-black men in general would come up to her and ask her out. But when it came to black men in her university, she said they would never ever approach her. So one of her friends pulled her to the side and was like, it's because of your wig. They were like, it's your wig is repelling black men from approaching you. So in the black community, having a bad wig can symbolize one of two things. Either you are going through something or you probably don't have a lot of black friends. So it really isn't about the wig, because the wig is just a byproduct of how she grew up culturally. And because she grew up in that culture that was very far removed from black culture, she's going to find herself being able to relate probably more to the people who are of the same culture as her, the people who grew up in the small towns out in the Midwest, having the same cultural beliefs, having the same cultural preferences. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, if you take the wig out of it, that's all it is. A black woman who didn't grow up in black culture going out and dating other people who didn't grow up in black culture. It doesn't really need to be any deeper than that, honestly. The wig, again, is just a byproduct of that. And how rare is it for people who come from the same culture to date and marry each other? It's not rare at all. So if you look at the vast majority of black female rappers today in black music, you will see that they all pretty much, I mean, the majority of them have the same preference when it comes to their hair and their wigs. They have, you know, the melted, very sleek, very slick looking wigs, the obviously very expensive, very well put together, well done wigs. And maybe the men that are, you know, pursuing her can look at her and tell that she's very far removed from the popular rap culture that they probably wouldn't want, you know, to have in a partner. They're looking for a woman that is not aligned, with many of the things that are associated with the black women in that popular black music, that popular, you know, black rap scene. So maybe the bad wig is also a signal to them that, you know, she's not very close to that type of culture. But at the end of the day, guys, I feel like the slim black woman with the bad wig automatically marrying a white millionaire is definitely an over exaggeration. I feel like it's definitely an oversimplification of all the nuance that's really going on there. But you know what? Y'all comment below and let me know what your thoughts are on this slim black woman. Bad wig equals automatically marrying a white millionaire. I'm definitely interested to hear your take on it. But guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel, clicking on that notification bell so that way you know whenever I post more videos. But as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.